just for everyone. Just give it a second. Hi, everyone, and welcome. This is Krishna Priya. We are back on Hucolo TV. So I just give everybody a chance to log in. And then I'll just put in here any requests. And if and how about it after Elijah comes, we can look and see if there's any new requests. Would that work?
Yes, that's fine.
Okay, good. Let's do it like that.
All right.
Okay. So we're on the right YouTube now. So whenever you're ready.
One moment. Sure.
Okay.
Saphira went to the kitchen.
Oh. To make some coffee?
I don't think so.
Oh.
Are you all right, Saphira?
Huge ant walking right towards you, so I had to remove it.
Oh.
Kind of weird, but
All right.
I was watching it walk its way all the way over.
Okay. Hi, Met Wally jumped over. Dave.
Thank you for asking.
Is it Dave or Diane? Can't see. Dane. It's either Dane or Diane requested Azazel, as Archangel Azazel.
Yes.
Azazel. Azazel, is that how you say it? Azazel.
Azazel, yeah.
Azazel, and then Raphael as well was requested.
Azaziel, yeah.
And then
And then
Raphael.
Raphael?
Yeah.
Azaziel and Raphael.
Right. And a white dragon called Beiruth or Beiruth. Yeah.
How do you spell that?
Beyruth.
Babe Ruth. Okay.
Beiruth. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
Bayouth. Very good. All right.
Okay.
Let's. Very
Yeah.
good.
Whenever you're ready.
Greetings. I am Elijah. There is time for you to sit and relax and wonder and dream and think. These are important to do because it is a time when a freedom of thought is under, well, it's being battled. The thing is about your freedom of thought is that you don't want it to come under control of anyone else. So if you're daydreaming and thinking and knowing that these are your own thoughts, it is a good time for you to sit and also pray and also meditate. This is a time when your free time is going to get less and your work time is going to get more. I know some of you have jobs already doing things to make money so that you can survive. But there is another mission for you, and that mission is going to start up soon. And so you need to be prepared for it. You need to understand that this time is a time for prayer and for meditation and for getting things in line, not just for your personal life, but for the life that is coming, for the life that you will lead in the future. You are preparing for leadership positions. You are preparing to do things that are above and beyond. And as you are preparing to do these kinds of things, it is time you get serious with yourself about them. Many of you are. I understand that already. But many of you are still wandering and saying, I cannot seem to focus. I cannot seem to do what is the right thing. I cannot seem to get things in balance. Well, that's a time for deep prayer. That's a time for being a prayer warrior. That's a time for meditation. That's a time for taking things in your own hand because nobody can change anything but you. No matter what anyone says, no matter what I say, no matter what your friends say, no matter what God even says, you are the only person that can change your life. You're the only person that can take things into your own hands and make things right in your world. Remember, you have to know yourself first. Know who you are and know what you are doing with your life. And as you get these things all in balance, then you can know more about what is going to come in the future because opportunities will open up. I've said this many times, but repetition is the mother of learning, and I know that many of you hear it and just let it pass. Or you say, I'm not ready for that. Or you say, that's not for me. I'm going to live my life the way I want to, and it doesn't matter what anybody says. Or it doesn't matter what God thinks, or I don't care about a mission. The thing is this. If God is bringing you here, bringing you to a place like this, then you have a mission. If God is speaking to you through me or through others, you have a mission. If God is speaking through another channel somewhere else that is getting to your heart and making you wonder and making you feel something, then you have a mission. Remember, this is called, what God calls this is being brought forth. You're being brought forth because you're feeling him. You're knowing that he's there. You're feeling the conviction of God on your life. And you know that that conviction will lead to action if you allow it to, if you know what that conviction is all about. So thank you for listening, because your conviction within yourself from God, from self, from your spirit, from truth, from the angels is important. You are stronger than you think you are. Many of you are just don't want to try. Many of you just don't have any drive. Many of you don't even care. But the thing is, that will be something that you will have to be judged for. If you don't take up your shield and your sword, you will be not honored. You must do what you need to do. You must know who you are. You must rise to the occasion. And there is no excuses. There is no way to back out of it by saying it's not for me, because God has something for everyone. For everyone. Be blessed, because God is blessing you. God is giving you truth. God is giving you wisdom, and God is giving you understanding. There is no other place you can get this other than from the world, and the world understanding is not the right place to get it. Only the God understanding can be used to accomplish what needs to be done. Bring yourself into prayer. Bring yourself into devotion. Bring yourself into meditation. Bring yourself into a place where God can use you. May you be blessed for all the things that you do for him. Amen. Someone has called me. I am Shiva.
Oh, Radha has called you.
Very well.
Radha, do you have a microphone today?
Yes.
Hopefully. Okay,
Thank
go
you.
ahead.
Hello, Shiva. Thank you so much for coming.
It is my pleasure.
Um,
What do you ask of me?
I had a few questions. I was wondering, could you tell me a little bit about how you work with Shakti and what you're currently doing during this time in history?
What I am doing this time in history is showing the world what God is doing for the world. I am a god of war. I am a god of division and things of that nature, but sometimes things needed to be divided so that they can come together in a balance. Do you understand that? And so I am working with those to stop the wars. Even though I'm the warlord, I want the wars to stop because they're not doing it correctly. They're not doing it for the right reasons, and they're not doing it to be godly or any of that. It is just for selfish reasons, for monetary reasons, and for pride. Also for power and for land. What I'm doing with other gods, Shakti, I am working with others to bring about a peaceful resolution to many things. I do not understand many of the things that happen on this planet because I am distressed by its whole underlying attractions to negativity. But it is that I do understand it. I want to make sure that it is something that is brought forth and people do understand why there is negativity and understand the negativity within themselves. I want to ask you something. You asked me about Shakti. What is it that you think that we're doing together?
So, based on what I've read, I understood that Brahma had asked you to separate yourself from Shakti, which is the energy. And I was recently told that you and Shakti would be working with me in preparation for my trip to the Himalayas. So I wanted to understand how you work together these days and how you would be working with me.
We work together the same as always. There's no separation. Uh, that's why I was asking, because we've always worked together quite the same way. And the way that I'll be working with you and with Shakti in your life is that we will be bringing around the balance that will happen when you are there. There is great deals of energy there. There are great deals of history there, and you need to be balanced and understand what part of it you fit into.
Wonderful, wonderful. So is there anything spiritually significant about the Himalayas that most of us don't know that you'd like to share with us today?
Oh, there's many things about the Himalayas. Well, that is where the Himalayas is where the Shambhala or Shambhala or however you pronounce it, they live there. That is the the area of Shambhala. And it is also the area of the highest peaks that touch heaven. And there have been great gods there that have been stationed on the tops of some of these peaks because it is highest and easiest way to get off the planet. And so there are many things about the Himalayas that are very beautiful, spiritual, and majestic.
But these are known things. Is there something that we generally don't talk about or know about that you could enlighten us on?
Well, many things, there are things that are unknown. Yes, there are. Well, you know all about many of the things that I would speak about. But there are some, the golden people of the Himalayas, they are not well known. They live under the Himalayas and they come out for rituals 4 times a year during solstices and uh, equinoxes. But they are of the future. They are of a higher species, and they are of another dimension even. So you really don't see them. They know of this third dimension. They are part of it in some ways, but they are more fourth dimensional than third dimensional. And so they deal with their realm in a different way than most fourth dimensional beings do. So the golden people of the Himalayas will eventually be known, but not quite yet. Also, there is another species that lives under the Himalayas as well, but they are not to be mentioned yet.
It's good. We'll leave some mysteries for later.
Well, the thing is, they cannot be mentioned because they are hiding,
Okay.
and no one can know where they are at this time.
Well, thank you so much for coming today and answering these questions. Looking forward to working with you.
Very well.
Radha, where are you going in the Himalayas?
So, I'm being heavily guided to, I was actually born in the Himalayas in Dehradun.
Oh,
And
I'm in Rishikesh, that's why.
yeah,
So-
I know. We talked about that. I actually messaged you on Messenger. So if you get a chance to take a look, we can kind of expand upon this.
Okay,
What
great.
country were you born in?
India.
Oh, she was born in India.
Yeah.
Yes, I was born in Dehradun.
Dehradun's only about 45 minutes from where I am.
Hmm.
I understand.
Yeah.
I see.
Great. Okay, I'll look Messenger.
I see Nepal and Tibet are some of your thoughts.
Oh,
They're not
okay.
far away.
They were in your thoughts, I thought. But anyway, that is all right. They have greater mysteries and significances.
So do you think I will be closer to Nepal and Tibet than Rishikesh?
Yes, I think that you can. There are things there for you as well.
Wonderful. Thank you.
There are things there for other people here as well, because some of the people that are here in this room have been attached to those areas in the Himalayas that are mysterious and are very spiritual. They've been either monks or visionaries or gurus. Perhaps shaman might be a good word, but I think it's higher than that. A guru might be the better word.
Okay. Wonderful. Okay, did you have any other questions, Radha, or not? I'll move on.
Oh, please move on. Thank you.
Thank you. Alan has a question.
Greetings.
Greetings, Lord Shiva. It's an honor to be speaking with you for this first time. Thank you.
Greetings.
So, given this state of the world that we're in, when these worldviews and systems and stories of perceiving the world are sort of crumbling apart, the world's sort of experiencing a bit of a tower moment, so to speak, and people are being forced inward to do some internal alchemy. I'll say it like that. Given that, I would like for you to share your perspective on the distinction and nuance between what darkness is and what evil is. And because it seems like there's the fact that we have two different words for those things seems like there's a reason, but it's tempting to superimpose them.
I understand. Darkness and evil can be different. Yes. Evil is the wanting to do of something malevolent, something bad, that you're attempting to do the wrong thing, and you know that you are going to be doing the wrong thing, and it can be many different things. Evil can be very small, or it can be very large. Darkness is more like confusion. When you are in darkness and you're not sure if you are doing right or wrong, if you are not sure that you are in the right place, if you're not sure that you are even a good person. Sometimes that can be a darkness, a place where you need to find out the answer to your questions. It is not that you're trying to be evil. It is not that you're trying to do anything wrong, but you might be stuck in a place that you are not sure of and that you feel is not right. And you may need some opportunities and may need some advice on how to get out of these places.
And thank you for that explanation. And the last part is, since you are an aspect of the ultimate God, the source, and given what you represent and the paradigm that you work with, would it be correct in some ways to say that God, in the highest, most balanced sense, has that there's a place for God has a bit of a dark aspect to them, but there's a place for that darkness in creation?
Yes, let me explain. I have some of that darkness within me in the sense that I am warlike, in the sense that I battle for justice. And some people think that is not right because I I have been able to do some very heinous things, like cut off the head of my son and replace it with an elephant's head. But the thing is, many look at that as a heinous act or a heinous act, or however you pronounce it. But anyway, yes, God has a side of him that knows about darkness, that's created beings that created more darkness. Of course, there is also some darkness in God somewhere, because otherwise it could not exist. But I don't think he acts upon it. He allows everyone else to act upon it with their free will. But this thing I know, God looks at each individual for their light, for their substance of good, for their kindness, and all these things. He does not look for the darkness in them because he does not want to bring that out in them. He does not want to uh, push it forward. He would rather bring out your goodness and work with that and see how much of the darkness fades away. He wants you to be able to get rid of your own darkness in many senses. Yes, of course, there are things such as salvation where you ask for forgiveness of sins, and it is given to you, and darkness is washed away, but not completely. Just the sins that you have created from this life, not the darkness that exists from the beginning of time. So it is that, yes, there are many different ways to view this. But yes, there's a dark side to God as well. But it is not something that he pushes forward as part of his agenda.
Thank you.
Okay, Wendy has a question. Go ahead, Wendy.
Thank you very much. Greetings.
Greetings.
Originally, I didn't have a question, and then during your conversation, I have a couple. So, when I first started working with crystal skulls, I was given Shambhala, and I never understood it, and I never realized it was in the Himalayas until just now. And then also, in coinciding with that, I was given the image of the Himalayas. And so, can you expand on that relationship and what is that significance?
Shambhala is a place where it is like a paradise. It is in the mountains. It is guarded by the Yeti. It's a place
Oh,
where no men are allowed to go. It is alien in beginnings, but it has taken in many high spiritual forms, as far as I understand. But it is within the mountain of I think it's Kailash. No, that's
Oh, that's interesting because I was told that the Yeti were reaching out to me before too. Gosh, so many tie-ins that are just all fitting
well,
together now.
Kailash may be the highest mountain or the mountain of the gods. But I
Mount
know that,
Kailash is the highest mountain, yeah, in that mountain of the gods.
yes, that's what I'm saying. And Shambhala there is a name for that mountain as well, but it's not that one. But it
Why?
is what is
Oh, I was just going to say, why am I being given all those little bits of information at different
perhaps
times?
you were part of Shambhala at one time.
Oh my gosh, my heart is racing. I see.
Shambhala is secretive, not known to mankind. Nobody really knows what it's like. Are you able to still hear me?
Yes,
No one knows what it's like inside the mountain except those that reside there.
I see. And that, I'm sorry, I'm having a physical reaction. And then my second question is after I was listening to a shamanic meditation, which is another thing that you mentioned, I heard cicadas and it sounded like cicadas. I can't say that that's exactly what they were, but it sounded like cicadas and it lasted for about 10 minutes. I was wide awake. I wasn't like dreaming about it, which I do often have these astral dreams. But did the cicadas, or if that was them, is there a message with that?
There's the language of the insectoids can sometimes sound like cicadas. And so insectoids can sound like that. And so they may be giving you a message from a different place. It would go to the subconscious and eventually be translated at some point to you.
Well, okay.
That is all I can tell you about that.
Oh, okay. That makes sense. That's all for now. Thank you very much.
Very well.
Blessings to you, my love.
Yes.
Okay. There's some questions in the YouTube chat. I'm just looking to see if they're relevant for you. Let's see. Well, this is a question you can answer. How do you remove spiritual blockages? And, well, how do you remove spiritual blockages? First of all, Jody wants to know.
There are many different kinds of spiritual blockages. Which kind of spiritual blockage are you wanting to remove?
Since
Because
she's in type it,
there's
yeah.
there's possessions, there's attachments, there's negative energies, there's many kinds of spiritual energies to remove. And all of them can be removed by God, all of them can be removed by faith and understanding. Remember this, when there are physical attachments such as these negative things, they are usually because you, at a time of weakness, you were overwrought or very angry, you were very depressed. All kinds of super negative expressions will cause super negative attachments. So you must find your place in spirituality and have it removed that way. Either that or have someone, such as a shaman or an exorcist, deal with the problem at hand, because they will use spiritual elements to remove those spirits that are connected to you.
She said that she wants to remove the blocks that keep her from connecting to her other selves.
That can sometimes be removed and other times cannot. And I'll tell you why. Sometimes knowing your other selves can bring you into a different place of understanding than you need to go. You're being guided and directed by God or a higher spirit, and they're blocking this because they don't want you to see something from the past or something that has not yet come and is going to be part of you. So I'm seeing that they are blocking you on an intention.
Hmm.
But it's not negative spirits.
Question, but maybe you will. She says, how do you, I assume Mula's a girl, how do I restore my subliminal and morphic field results?
Subliminal and morphic field results. All right.
It-
You realize that around the third eye, there is an electron membrane. Yes. And it goes like this. It comes across the forehead and it goes down the sides. It also encircles the eyes. This electron area is this membrane is very thin and only works with the psychic energies of the third eye. It's like almost looks like a mask, if you could see it. So it is that this psychic area and in the brain will restore all things because it's connected to the pineal, it's connected to the frontal lobe, it's connected to even the medulla oblongata and other areas of the brain, the cerebral cortex. And so these things can be done through meditation, through prayer, and through uh, understanding what you're dealing with. If you understand your morphic fields, if you understand what is going on, your consciousness as a whole, your consciousness can work on morphic fields as well. So if you understand what you're dealing with mentally, spiritually, and third eye wise, which is a different kind of energy altogether, then you will understand how to get rid of these. I cannot just tell you because it would make no sense. You must discover it on your own. It's something that you must know by rote, by praying and understanding and meditating on it, because that is the only way you can really understand it and really overcome it. Does that make sense to you?
I will give them a chance to respond.
Because I asked that question because these are areas of great connection within the brain and the surface of the skin and with the third eye, and all these things are connected, as you know. And to understand how to include them in your everyday life is something of you must work for that. You must have a working ethic to move that forward.
She responded, yes, that makes sense to her.
Good.
And then there's another question from Gigi. You're gonna have to get a shorter name. Gigi CCC TTT MMM Love Life Omnipresent says how to remove, again with blockages, blockage trapped energy in the shoulder and arm, and how to activate the light body.
All right. First of all, to get rid of blockages in the body, it is similar. You have to know yourself in some ways and know what you're dealing with. What kind of energy is blocked in there? What is it a attachment energy? Is it just a negative energy? Is it a spiritual thing, or is it just a malevolent energy? We can work on getting rid of these kinds of things because energy is different than a personification. So bringing out an energy is much easier than bringing out a personification of negativity. And so I would say to her or him that it is that you can put your hand on that area, whatever area it is in the body, because you have healing in your hands, and feel that area. If it's cold, if it's a cold area or a hot area, then you know that there's something there. So if it just feels regular, then there might not be anything but just muscle aches or whatever. But if it's cold or hot, then you know that there is some kind of spiritual activity going on. So cold is worse. Hot is usually a positive spiritual activity, and cold is usually a negative spiritual activity. So if it's cold, then you want to remove it. And so that is when you will find a way to pray and interact with it so that it can be removed. What was the other question? The light body?
Yeah, activating the light body. And he was also asking, can you work with him on his shoulder and arm?
Yes, I can. I can work on the shoulder with him. There are several that are having shoulder problems, by the way. So, how to activate the light body? The light body can only be activated with the spiritual body. The light body is the spiritual body. And you cannot just wham, turn on the spiritual body, because that's not how it works. You must pray, you must devote, you must ask for it to happen. You must work toward it. Everything in this life that you want must deal with work. There is no easy answers. Some people will give you a light activation. How long will that last? Probably a few days. But if you want a true light activation, you must bring it forth. You must enhance the light. You must bring in more light. You must understand what light is going to do for you. Your existence is about light. You do shed light all the time. Your life is a bright light, but you can be even brighter. When you're turning on your light, let's put it that way, your physical light, you must work for it in the spirit. There are those that will give you an activation for that, but like I said, it will not last for very long. It is a temporary activation because you did not work for it. You did not strive for it. You did not put any effort into it. And so, oh, good, you have it for a few days and it feels great and it's wonderful and your light activation is there. And maybe even people can see it and you can feel it and everything, but it will fall away if you don't keep it strong, if you don't act with it, if you don't exercise it. Just like any muscle or anything of that nature, your light body needs to be exercised, needs to be pushed into a place of greater brightness, of greater activity. So it is not that one activation will do it. You must work at keeping that activation alive.
Okay, thank you so much for that. That's all the questions that I have that are relevant for you at this moment.
Very well. I will bring someone else.
Oh, wait, 1 second. Sorry. Joan, was your question for Shiva or not?
Yes,
Okay, go ahead.
thank you. Greetings. I have a dream about my heart's turned into a rainbow heart, and I saw it. But then now I feel this a lot of emotions, and I don't know how am I going to integrate that. I don't know what's going on now.
Okay, integration of the rainbow emotions. Okay, I think you've been told this before, but you've been through a rainbow meditation, which is a meditation where it lasts for 7 days and then you become light. You had that in one of your past life experiences. And in this life, you're getting the refractions, you're getting memories of it. And it is the light is within you, that is the rainbow connection, not as Kermit the Frog would say, but the rainbow connection as in the rainbow meditation collection reflection. And this is a very deep and very powerful connection. So you're right, it's hard to deal with these deep emotions that are in this particular meditation. And so what you must do is breathe. You must let it in. You must allow. You must just relax with it. There's no way to do anything else with it. You cannot force it. You cannot be upset with it. You cannot be anxious or fearful with it, because then it will just cause problems. Relax. Relax with it. Breathe with it. Expand with it. Know that it is something that has always been there, or been there for a long time, and that it is part of who you are.
I see. Well, sometimes I feel like I have to suppress and numb it. So, and
I
it's
know
more,
it comes out very strongly.
yeah. Well, thank you.
You're welcome. But that is the only way. You really can't suppress it. You try, but it doesn't really work, does it? I don't think so.
No.
No, so don't even try. Just let it go.
Thank you.
All right.
Okay.
I will go now.
Thank you for being here.
Oh. Greetings, my children. It's Gaia. Oh, did someone have a question for me?
Yes, I believe, was it Alan who requested Gaia?
I
Or no,
believe.
it
Oh,
was Donna.
it was Donna.
Yes, Donna, please go ahead.
Greetings.
Greetings. My question for you, Gaia, what percentage of people living on the earth would you say have a naturally peaceful consciousness?
That is a good question. Right now, they start off peaceful. Many start off peaceful. But at the moment, I would say maybe 10 or 11%, because many have let their peacefulness become disturbed. And so to be truly peaceful, like your daughter and yourself, is unusual, because you are very peaceful. You strive for peacefulness, and you strive for the kindness and equilibrium that is necessary. So yes, there are a few of you, really. But I mean, 10 or 11% of 8 billion, that's a lot of people, but it's still not enough.
Yes. Thank you. I'm surprised that it is that small, but I knew it wasn't very big. Thank you very much for your answer.
Well, it could be much larger, and it is actually getting larger with some of the people that are waking. It was smaller than that at one time in the just recent past, but there are some that are awaking and becoming more peaceful. That is good.
Thank you for your answer.
You are welcome. Oh, very well. Is that it?
That's it.
Very well. Is there no more questions? I will go then.
I had a question.
Oh, there's a couple more. Go ahead.
All right. So Gaia, I am thinking about developing a vacation property, or I own the land, but it's undeveloped at this point. And there's been some fluctuations as far as what type of structure I should build on it. And right now I'm thinking maybe a garage with an apartment above it instead of an actual cottage or cabin. And so I'm wondering if that's kind of the right path to go, but also I have some concerns about the clearing of the land and cutting down of trees, because I know I had a lifetime as a tree being on on another planet, and I've always felt a strong connection to trees, and I always have a hard time like cutting down trees. So I also have my regular home is on 2.5 acres of land, and this spring there's a bunch of baby trees that have sprouted that I'm gonna need to cut down, and I have some resistance to that because I feel like
Of
I'm
course.
hurting them. And so I'm just wondering too what the
Well,
trees think about
well,
needing to be cut down and if it causes
well,
them any pain or harm, and
they,
if there's anything I can do, I guess, to lessen the pain if I
they
having
do
to do
not,
that.
they do not feel pain the way you do. They do, their biggest pain is with fire. The fire is something that trees will shrink back from because it's painful to them to feel fire. But if you chop them down or remove them from the root hub, that is less likely to be painful. Um, and with your idea of a garage in a house or whatever it is, tell me what it is that you want to do with this particular building.
So I would like to have family gatherings or gatherings of
Oh,
with
yes.
family and friends, and this property I own was previously part of the land that I grew up on, that our family lake cabin was on. And when my mom sold the lake cabin, this land that's on the other side of the road directly behind our old cabin, I purchased it 17 years ago from her when she was selling the cabin. So it has a
I
lot of
agree.
personal meaning to our family
I
or
understand.
to me, and I want to share it with future generations and have gatherings up there again. And
Sounds very good. Sounds like a oneness kind of thing. So you
yes,
want to get together and do that kind of thing. Yes, that would be good.
yes,
But
and I was
cutting down
originally,
trees, yes, it is difficult for you, I understand.
yeah, to put a driveway
But
in and clear the land to make
do not
space.
cut down any more than you have to.
Yeah, I don't plan on it.
But
Um,
things of this nature can be positive as well. But
yeah,
I do not like
originally,
cutting down trees either.
yes.
And
Um,
especially I do with the forest fires, they're just they just hurt me so badly.
yes. Yeah, I was originally thinking of a small cabin, but it sounds like that's going to be cost prohibitive at this point, the way building costs are. And so I was now thinking of a garage with like a studio apartment above it is what I'm intuitively feeling this
Very good.
morning.
Keep praying about it. The right answer will come.
Yeah, I keep asking for assistance with that. So,
Yes.
um, yeah, I'll keep following my inner guidance. But it's good to hear about the trees. I've been trying to give them a message ahead of time, sending them love and letting them know, you know, I'll need to cut some of them down on my own property as well as those that clear my property up north for a driveway and structure. So I'll send them a message ahead of time and send them my love. So
Very good. What is your other question here? There is another one in the room with that question.
Great.
Hello, Gaia.
Greetings.
Oh, I have two questions.
Yes.
Can she get closer? Because she's very hard to hear.
Okay, sorry. I have two questions. One is, I often hear or read about Gaia suffering, that you're suffering. You don't sound like you're suffering. Are you both suffering and not suffering? Can you explain that?
Yes.
The first part, yeah.
I stay as happy as I can, even though the earth is really scourging me in many ways. There's bombs and there's fires and there's volcanoes and things of this nature, but I control some of that. So I am happy because I must stay happy to keep the earth in balance because the balance is not right at this moment. So I must be even happier to keep the balance online.
Okay, thank you. Thank
You're
you. My other question is, the idea of Terra Nova, another type of Earth, right? Where
Yes.
some will go to. What happens to this Earth in the ascension? Does she die and come back to life? Does she get emptied?
No, no,
What
no.
happens with this particular one?
I never die.
Okay.
I am a spiritual being. I am part of this world right
Mhm,
now. I am
mhm.
this world. But as things move forward, I will move forward as well. I may go to somewhere else if God chooses, or I may rise with this realm,
Mm.
or I may stay where I am. Who knows what God wants from me?
Okay, so
But I know that Terra Nova,
yes,
many will go there.
okay, and it's the fourth dimensional version of Earth, is that it?
It is actually third dimensional version of Earth, but completely pristine.
Mhm. Oh, nice. Like the Earth should be now, right?
Yes.
This one.
Mhm.
Mhm. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Angie has a question. Angie, do you want to ask it?
Very well.
Just basically, can you just like give us a message about the state of our planet?
Oh
Just
dear. Yes, I can. The state of the planet is very much suffering. There is a lot of negativity, a lot of uh, war and things of that nature going on. So the earth does suffer. I suffer. Yes. But I also am seeing what the future may hold after this time passes. It's not going to get better in the near future. I know that. But let me tell you that the world is not in a good shape right now. But in the future, you must not keep your eye on this state right now. You must not keep your eye on how the world is right now because it will change. It will not be the same. It will move into another period of darkness, then it will move into another period of reformation. It's all about how it moves and how God is moving with it. So it will be dark for a while, but then there will be light again. So keep your eyes on the light.
thank you. I mean that I understand that. Is what is happening to our planet right now a form of prophecy?
Yes, I would say it is. Yes,
And whose prophecy is it?
God's. God's understanding of what should happen. It's part of the blueprint, the plan. That's what prophecy is his plan, his blueprint. And so he wrote it down, or he gave it to mankind and to the universe a long time ago. And he said, this is the way it should go. It's not always going that way, but it's staying within certain parameters. So yes, that's what prophecy is, in my opinion, is his blueprint for everything.
Thank you so much, Gaia. Thank you.
You're welcome. Oh, yes.
Dawn has a question. Dawn has a question. Go ahead, Dawn.
Greetings.
Greetings, Gaia.
Yes.
Could you tell me, please, what's going on with the waters around Fiji?
Oh, yes, where the radioactivity is. Let me
Someone was saying that the tides are going extra, the water's going out extra long
Oh,
now.
that's a different place. I was thinking of Fukushima. Yes, Fiji, yes, there is. The Pacific Ocean is going through some rather interesting changes right now. Its temperature is rising. There has been a lot more underwater thermal release, as well as higher temperatures in the areas. And so, with that, the water is reacting differently in different places, even around the Atlantic coast as well. There are differences in the waters. It's becoming warmer. So, yes, Fiji is not alone. There are other places in the Pacific where this same thing is happening. But yes, it is because of the change in the thermal dynamics of the water and of the air.
Thank you very much.
Oh, yes.
Okay, thank you. We have some questions in the chat. Let me turn to them. Let me see. Matt Wally says, how are you doing and what do you have in the bag for us humans right now? I think you kind of said, but maybe you can expand on that.
Well, I am doing as well as possible for this time. I have always known this time was coming. So that is what I was telling you earlier, that I'm staying extremely happy to balance off all the unhappiness of the world. And so in order for this world to last and maintain itself, I must be much happier, even though I'm in more pain. Does that answer that question? And what do I have in store for you? It is not what I have in store, but what God has in store. And He has some very surprising things coming for you. And I'm not allowed to tell you everything. Shh. It is not for me to tell, but I know that there will be some very violent storms, but I cannot tell you where or when.
Okay, great. So there's a couple questions about what is the best way to connect to you?
Oh, stand on the earth. Put
Right.
all of your, ground yourself in me. Grounding is the way to connect with me. I connect through grounding. And I feel each and every one of you as you ground down into the core of my being. And I am happy to help you with your uh, understanding and with your chakral growth.
There's a comment that says, Mother Gaia, most humans truly love you. When we walk and talk to you, do you feel and hear all of us? What could
I
be a
do.
sign from you that you feel us?
A sign for me is maybe a cool breeze or the sun coming back out from a cloud or something like that. But if there is no sign at that moment, it doesn't mean I'm not hearing you. It just means that I have no manipulations at that moment.
Right. Sarah says she connects to the tree and root collectives.
Yes.
But is there a specific way to bring in the ascension and higher angelic energy into the earth? I love you so much.
Yes, it is one way. Yes. There are so many, many, many ways to bring higher consciousness into the earth. But you must understand that they all have their own um they all have their own outcomes. Like if you were praying with the trees and the plants and the roots, then you're going to have greater plant growth and greater tree structures and more beautiful leaves in the autumn and things of that nature. And that is a spiritual uh, outcome from what you are doing. If you're praying with the clouds, then you're going to have a greater rain or greater beauty with the rain and have it do exactly what it's needing to do to bring the plants and the animals and the life on the planet into alignment as well. No matter how you pray, it will have an effect on the earth in some way.
Okay. And then there's another question about the prophecy of that Angie was asking about whose prophecy. And that Wally wants to know, what is the prophecy?
The prophecy is that the earth will go through a very difficult time, but
Yeah.
well, at the end will come out in 1,000 years of peace.
Mm.
But we have to get through the difficult time first.
Great. All right. And I think that's all the questions I have for you. Actually, there was a question about, did Gaia create the sun?
No, I did not.
Right. And God created the sun? Is that the answer?
Yes, and the sun actually poured out its essence to create the earth.
Okay. Thank you. All right. So you're saying the sun created the earth?
Yes.
Okay, beautiful. All right. Thank you so much, Gaia. And so many people are sending you all this love and so much adoration.
Yes, I feel it. Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you
you.
for being here.
Yes, I thank you so much. All right, I will leave and let someone else come.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. Again, please come again.
Yes. I am Bay Youth. Someone
Oh.
has called me.
Yes, Metwali called you. You're the white dragon.
Correct.
Metwali, dear, you're up if you can type a question. But in the meantime, while we're waiting, because he's in the chat, would you give us a sort of information of who you are, where you are? And if there's a general message you have for us, that would be fantastic.
Well, I am a white dragon, and I am from the North Country in your world, and I am from other places in the universe as well. I am here right now speaking to Donner about certain things about this planet. And so it is that we are having some inter-universal meetings at this time. And that just happens to be on the Earth at this moment. I am from a distant planet, and we are very positive beings. Most dragons now are, but there are still some that are not. And what I have come to do is to help with peace and with tranquility on this world, and to help people understand that dragons are not evil or destructive anymore. There was a time when they had a very bad reputation, but not as late. What else would you like to know?
I'm just checking his question. The question is, can you share about the Master Crystal Skull from Atlantis?
The Master Crystal Skull will be the one that is in the center of all the skulls. There will be 12 around it. And these 12 skulls, this central skull will be the controller of all the other 12. You see, it is about the Stargates. And this is the Master Skull that does control the Stargates in one form or another. It's like the control station for all the Stargates. The crystal skulls come together in a clock-like formation with one in the middle, and then that gives power to all the grids that they are on. And so that is the way it works. And plus, the Stargates will be re-emphasized in energy by these crystal skulls and by the technology that is within them. They will do guiding and controlling of the ways that the Stargates can be used. And that has changed over many thousands of years because the Stargates are now much more useful in much more many ways.
Has the Master Skull been found yet?
I do not believe so.
Do you know in what country it is, or is it in this dimension?
It is in this. It would be in Europe.
Okay. Right. And Metwali says, can we create wait a minute. He says, I love you, but you know that. People sang to it, it made mind travel possible. Can we create new ones?
New crystal skulls are being created off-world, not on this planet, not the major ones. There were other ones being created for guidance and directions for other Stargate series off this planet. So yes, crystal skull systems reside in at least 7 different planets.
What is the significance of it being a skull versus another shape?
It is just the beginning of mankind. All mankind had skulls. All beings have skulls. Even if it is alien or human or whatever, some of these skulls are shaped in alien forms. Some of these skulls are shaped in human form. Some of these skulls are shaped in ape-like forms, etc. It is the definition of the capture of sentience, where the brain is held.
Okay, wonderful. Wonderful. And I'm just looking to see if there's another chat. Can you, well, yeah, all right. That's all the questions I have for you.
Very well.
Thank
There's more out there.
Seems like there are a couple in the chat.
Oh, are there?
in
Thank
this
you.
room.
Oh, who
Yeah.
had the question? Thank you. Wendy, go ahead. Thank you, Alan.
Yes, greetings. Pleasure to meet you today. I'll bet vocally. I actually have been attending some kind of council meetings in the last, I don't know, this last week. And so my question was going to be what these meetings were about. And then I have an image of a white dragon, maybe it's a silver dragon that I keep in my room. And I could see like a light cross a path right before we were starting, like passed over it. And so I was like, oh, like who's trying to get my attention over there? But can you tell me what these meetings are in regards to?
These meetings are in regard to the saving of the earth, because the earth is under great turmoil right now, and with all times and all places in the universe, everyone is looking for the place that could cause the most trouble, and that is this place. And so as these meetings continue, there are lots that don't believe in the prophecies of God, and so therefore they look for human or alien remedies. And these meetings are about those kinds of remedies, but they do have some spiritual guidance as well. But you must understand the earth has come to the precipice of destruction twice now in the last 10 years.
I see. Last night, about 3 in the morning, I was standing outside and connecting in with the trees and the in the night sky and one of the stars. I'm not sure which star I was looking at, but as I was looking at the star, the entire sky went black, and then it started to shift with the trees looking like twigs, and then they looked like thick shadow branches, and then it would blink back to twig-like like wiry, lacy, and then back to kind of the shadow, thick, like branches, like almost like they were painted, pixelated. But
Mm.
can you tell, like, was that a result of those conversations, or it seemed like
No,
it was kind of
well,
flashing on off?
it sounds like a drug-oriented vision, but I can tell you that yes, sometimes the mind works in a different way when someone's trying to make uh connections to it. So I'm thinking that you're trying to make a connection with something out there.
Yeah, I was just looking at the starry night. Was my intent is just to reach out to the stars and look at them because we've had so much rain. I haven't seen them for a while.
It was some kind of connection, but I do not know what at the moment.
Okay, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Okay, thank you. Let me see. Okay, GGG wants to know, are all Stargate open functional? Oh, are all Stargates open and functional for intergalactic communication?
Only 3 right now out of the 12. That would be the Stonehenge, the Chichen Itza, and the Egyptian Cheops area one. The next 2 that will open will be Shasta and Pumapunka. Then after that, Göbekli Tepe.
There's a question about, is there anything that we can do as humans to foster more peace and get out of this war situation we're in?
If there was a day of prayer with everyone linked, it would definitely help, because prayer is very, very powerful. Yes, they go up one at a time, 10 at a time, 100 at a time, But if the whole world were to pray, or at least many of the world were to pray all at once for peace to come, then it would.
Right, thank you for that. All right, I believe that's all the questions that are here.
Very well.
Dawn has a question? Yeah, go ahead, Dawn. Dawn?
Didn't have a question. Oh, well, okay. The only question I'm gonna ask you, I had a very weird sensation. I was talking with a friend, a person that I had just met. I shook her hand and she said she got goosebumps up her arm. Could you tell me why that would have happened?
Yes, you had a past life connection with this person, and also you do have some kind of energy within your being that is a little bit more unusual than most humans. And so she felt both the galactic connection and the power that you have.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
Yes, you have a past life connection with her.
Okay. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Okay, thank you. All right.
Thank you, Krishna Priya.
You're welcome. All right. That was all the questions that I have for you.
Very well. Can I bring someone else?
Yes, please. Thank you so much for being here. Bye,
You
Ruth.
are welcome. Greetings, I am Metatron. Someone has called.
Yes, Metatron. I'm not sure who requested you. I'd have to scroll way back. Whoever requested Metatron, do you want to go ahead and ask your question?
Yes, it was this one here.
Okay, perfect. Saphira, go ahead.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you for coming, Metatron.
Yes.
I have a question about the my mind just went blank. About the seals, the first seal and the second seal. Because from what I understood, the seals are about 1,000 years apart. So is that true? Because
No.
that's not true. Because when the first seal already was broken, right?
Yes.
Do you know about when that happened?
Not long ago, perhaps 2 years.
Okay. There was a time on Earth when people were hearing trumpets all over the.
Yes.
Was that part of that seal being
Yes.
broken? Okay. So now the second seal is
Not open.
not open yet, but so isn't there a kind of structured time period between them or
There
or
should
it's
be,
not?
yes. I say should because that is the way it was planned.
Mhm.
However, when the seals open, they open. It is due to what is happening, not the distance between them. It goes by what is happening on the earth and not by the distance between the seals.
Okay. So part of the thank you. The first seal is the evangelism and the emerging of the Antichrist, correct?
Correct.
So
The evangelism of the earth and the Antichrist are both in the first seal.
are they interacting, needing each other to come forth? How is that?
No,
Why
they
are
do not need each other to come forth.
Okay, is the Antichrist going to use the Christians and in his way manipulate them?
He will always do that.
I mean, is there a reason why things are? Is there a reason why it's the first seal, the evangelism?
Yes,
And then
because
the-
it must be, that is the first act that must come before the rest of the seals can be broken.
Okay, so, all right, that's what I wanted to know. And you know the government meetings. Do you ever attend any of the government meetings?
Of course.
Have they begun yet? I don't remember.
They start at the end of May.
I see. All right. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Okay.
Okay, was that all the questions for you? All right.
Yes.
Yes, I think that's all the questions I have for you.
One
Except for
Susan
Wendy
has
has a
one.
question. No, Alan
I
has a question. I can't tell in the chat. There's too much going
so
on. Let me,
Susan, myself, I had a
okay,
question. If
all
there's
right.
time.
No, there's time. Go ahead.
Okay, great. Hello, Metatron. Since I'm a fractal of you and hold some of your energy, I'm just wondering, for myself and others that connect with you, how we might bring forth more of your essence in the work that we're doing this year and for years to come. If there's any message for me as far as connecting with you in the work that I'll be doing, and also anything that would be helpful to others as well.
For others, there is this. There is a great deal of my work being utilized at this time. I am the beginning of the craniosacral. I am the beginning of the astral charts that will be coming, the envelopment of all the mysteries from the my cubes and things of this nature will start to be understood in a more logical and definitive way. For you, you just must stay in line with the thought processes of connecting with all your sources, with all your fractals, and with all the things that you are needing to do in this life. Keep your spiritual balance and you will be fine. I will work with you.
Okay, wonderful. Yeah, it's been a while since we connected, and so I'll definitely reach out to you more for guidance. Thank you
Very
very
good.
much. Much love to you.
Okay, thank you. Wendy has a question. Go ahead, Wendy.
Yes, thank you. If I may reiterate that question about the trees and connecting with the star and how the sky went black and then it went twig-like lace and then back to thick shadowy branches. Is what was that experience?
That was someone trying to communicate from afar, and they were dealing with a certain part of the brain that also connected with the vision, the occipital lobe. So therefore, as they were working with your brain to send a download, they also created some visual effects that go with it.
Okay. Am I to know who this connection is at this time?
One moment. It is a Asasani.
Okay. Was it a Kuvi or another?
Another. Akuvi was there, though.
Okay. Okay.
This was someone else also.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I've been feeling that Sasani aspect of myself, like there's some kind of connection going on. So thank you so much for that clarification.
You're welcome.
Many blessings to you. I love you.
Yes.
Thank you. There's a question about how do you activate the Merkaba?
The Merkaba. I'm not sure how they want it activated. Can you get more
Well,
specific?
maybe they can explain the question. I mean, generally when people talk about the Merkaba, they talk about it as using it for traveling or for
Yes.
energetic transference, but I'll let them.
But it can also be mental transference as well.
Right. Okay, and then there's some other questions. One second, I have to go back because when I clicked on the thing, it changed the room. 1 second. Let me get back. I suddenly opened something with Max, which is not what we wanted. Okay.
But it can also be mental.
All right. There's another question about from Mark. He says, can you tell me about my connection to angels and about my mission?
Your mission with the angels is to, well, you have a connection with angels because you do have some fractals from a couple of different angels, and what your mission is that, well, you have to find that on your own. It's your highest excitement, whatever that is, and it is going to be happening within you. You must understand that there is more to you than meets the eye, and there are gifts within you that have not opened yet. And so to just throw that all on you would be a travesty. I must tell you that you do have a mission, and it is a good one, and it is a higher mission than you might think it would be, because you don't see it yet, or you don't feel it fully yet. So keep on praying. The angels will be there to communicate with you. And I will tell you this about your mission, is that it deals with people. It deals with helping other people. It deals with talking to other people. It could be counseling, it could be healing, it could be many different things, but it is communicative and it is people oriented.
What was that last word?
Oriented.
Oriented. Okay. Right. Thank you. Gigi says, according to Master Jesus' teaching in Revelation is not, wait a minute. According to Master Jesus' teaching, revelation is not real and dualistic illusion. Can you clear up the confusion in the ego mind of humanity?
Who is Master Jesus other than the Christ that was born thousands of years ago? Is there someone else claiming to be Jesus?
No, I feel like what he was saying is he was saying that revelations itself is not real, but it's a revelations is not literal, but it's something taking place in the illusion of the
Yes, but
dualistic
Jesus never
illusion, the
said that.
separation.
Jesus never said that. Jesus never said it wasn't real. He was dead by the time it was written.
Okay. All right. So maybe he has to clarify who this master is he's talking about. Okay. There's a question from what that says, was a ship causing the eclipse, or was it the moon?
The moon.
And
A ship cannot
okay.
cause a real eclipse. You would, even though it might be close, it would still not cause a full eclipse. You would see right around it.
Okay, Saudi Pia says, I received the voice from the vibration like a phone call directed into my right ear. I was communicated with the guy from the other side. It was more like I just accidentally tuned into that line.
Yes. And what about that?
Well, that was the whole thing. And then she says, can you tell me if that was for some purpose from the being that tried to raise my awareness for my other mission, please?
Yes. Whenever someone tries to raise your awareness, and they actually do, you actually hear them, and your awareness is raised up. It gives you more confidence, more support to do and move forward the way you should go. And so, yes, that is what this was meant to do, was boost you into activity.
Okay. This is from Just Thinking, says, is the prediction about the year 2027 in Gene Keys method true?
I don't know who Gene Keys is.
Right. Okay. Well, maybe they can expand on that. I don't know
Is
that.
it a person on Earth? There are so many prophesying on Earth, and some of them are good and some of them are not. I don't pay much attention, but tell me who that is. Maybe they have a different name.
Okay, great. There's a question from Radha. Go ahead, Radha.
Hello, Metatron.
Yes.
So as we're, getting these increasingly higher energies coming to Earth, I was wondering, are there any new techniques you could share with us on how to become more of a conscious creator?
Yes. When there's going to be coming a consciousness class coming up, and that is exactly what that is about, being a conscious creator. But the other thing is this, it is like a muscle. You must exercise it. The consciousness is your awareness of what is outside of your being and what is inside of your being. Now, if your consciousness is tuned to see and know more than it usually does, encompasses more than just the regular everyday life, it can be of a great use to you in many ways. What consciousness training will do is to bring everything into focus and also bring energy to the consciousness so that the energy can be used for healing, for understanding, for moving into other areas of the subconscious and the conscious and the soul and out into the universe. Because the consciousness is limited right now, people do not know how to use it to move out into the universe or into the subconscious. And so when you learn and how to use the consciousness to its highest functionality, you are ultimately perceptive.
So we have to think more multidimensionally. Is that what you're saying?
Not at first. You have to think more about what is in every frame of your life. You see one frame of your life, and many times you don't see everything that's in that frame. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
And so with the development of the consciousness awareness, internal and external, you become aware of everything and how it is conscious and how your consciousness can affect that consciousness and about how your consciousness is connected to all the other things that are in your understanding.
Oh, I understand now. So more awareness of all the consciousness that's around us.
And also how to use your consciousness in a powerful way.
I see. Wow. Well, looks like I'll have to sign up for that class. Thank you so much.
Very well.
Okay, thank you. Alan has a question. Go ahead, Alan.
I was still muted. Hi. Hello, Metatron. Thank you for coming today.
Greetings.
Greetings. It's good to be with you. So in the occult, there are actually representations of angels, such as the 72 angels of Shem, and there are angels who are worked with and who are revered by people who are engaging what would be considered by some to be questionable spiritual paths.
Of course.
So could you explain from what you see in your perspective, what is the angel's perspective on the occult that involves them, and just how to make sense of that, because it can some way see, well, is there actually a place there, or is there deception? What's your take on that?
All right. I know what is real. Let me tell you this. There are angels of darkness. And the difference between the angels of darkness and the angels of light is how they feel. Whenever you are in the presence of an angel in darkness, you will feel cold. You will feel probably negative energy. You will probably feel uncomfortable. If you are in the presence of an angel of light, you will probably feel comforted, joy, happiness, maybe fear at first because you don't know what they are. Any kind of angel is there. People are afraid until they know and feel what kind of angel they are. So just like Muhammad ran away from the angel in the cave because he was afraid of it, because he never saw anything like that in his life, and he did not stay to feel any energy. But if you were to stay to feel the energies of the angels, good angels are very positive feeling. Bad angels are cold and malevolent feeling.
So what would you say to a person who feels that they need to do like any inner work or shadow integration, or so, because I know that at the peak of everything, there's the divine monad, which is light, and it's everything at once. And then our perception splits off in two. There's the light and dark, the yin and the yang within us. So is it possible to interact with benevolent beings who are of darkness, or is that a deception?
That is a deception because usually benevolent beings are not of the darkness, benevolent beings are of the light. If there is a friendly dark spirit, well, then they will misguide you eventually. They will be all truth and beauty until they're not.
Okay, got it. I would invite you to, after this, to, I'd like to do a meditation with you because I'm seeking some clarity on some certain subjects.
Because, yes, the malevolent ones will seem very nice and be very truthful at first. That will be their way to get you involved in their understandings and in their ways, but then they will deceive you by changing the truth slightly and then slightly more. And then eventually you will see that you are no longer following the truth.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. Is that, Alan, are you good?
Yeah, this isn't a question, but I just want to ask Metatron if you would please send a prayer over all of us to help us with discernment, because as the darkness and light are both ramping up, sometimes it's hard to tell one from one.
It is very difficult in this day and age because they look so much alike, but they feel so different after a while.
Yeah, so if maybe you could just like do a prayer over this group and everyone listening, so that way
I
their
will
heart
do
can help
that.
them.
And I have another question in the room, but I will do the prayer first.
Oh,
Okay.
Dear Almighty Father, creator of all things, being of great light and wonder and love, bring your power upon this group and help them not to be deceived by any darkness, by anything that is not of you, by anything that can be twisted, by anything that can be demoralized. Dear Heavenly Father, we ask that you be with each and every one. Bring a spark of fire, of light, of love, and consistency into their life about spirituality and the love that is there for them from you. It is a difficult world in which they live in, a very harsh one, and a very deceptive one. So please be with them and help them to discern the light, the true light, from that which is a dimmer light and a dimmer understanding of truth. We thank you and praise you, Father, for all that you do and all that you are, for you give us this life, and you want it to be whole and beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Joan has a question. She wants me to read it, so I'll read it for her. And this will be the last question.
Safira had a question.
Oh, go ahead, Safira. Sorry. Go ahead, Safira.
thank you.
Oh.
Thank you. Alan reminded me of the real question I had about the evangelism, because those who are converting back to born again Christianity, fundamental Christianity, they are saying that everything that is not of that, all the new age, all of the esoteric, the card readings, angel reading, all of that is now satanic, and it's only Jesus. So can you elucidate what's really true about all of that?
Right.
Thank you.
Basically, most religions are fear-based. And so, with that being said, they will, if they accept Christ, or if they accept their own religion as being the only religion, they will not accept anything else. God is not like that. God accepts every single individual for who they are, what they are, and how they are. And he does not just conclude with Christianity. He did not say that God did not bring just Christianity into the world. He brought in all kinds of other religions as well, because not everyone can understand Christianity the way it's supposed to be understood. No one can understand Islam the way it should be understood. No one can understand Hinduism fully the way it should be understood.
So thank you. So what is the point of this new evangelism if it's going back to a very old fundamentalism?
Because it's one way to get people thinking similarly, but it will also open up a new thought process within that line of thinking.
Meaning something good coming out of it?
Always.
Okay. Thank you.
Go ahead.
Okay, great. Thank you. All right, this is the last question. I'll do it quickly. Can you explain or expand how the soul connection feels? Wait a minute, Joan, this is really hard. Joan, can you ask the question? Because I can't decipher what you wrote here. Yeah.
Okay. Can you explain or expand how the soul connection is? It feels like matter that I can feel like the impulse into the body. And is this how we can feel the soul, or is this the
The,
inner being
the
that
soul is there. Most people do not feel the soul. Most people take energy from the soul, however, because it is part of God that has every part of the human being in it. It is the initial creativity of the human being because it is all the creative sources of God that is within you. And so it has your creativity, your love, your understanding, your kindness, your goodness from the very beginning, even though you learn a lot of that and unlearn a lot of that. God has given you a soul from the very beginning. The very feeling of the soul is life itself. Does that make sense to you?
yeah, feels like well, I feel like that the soul is coming to a matter like, physically, but that's, you can feel the impulse of it. Is that make sense? That's how the connection I was trying to
Yes. Your
go.
soul, some people can feel their souls, and you're trying to say that you actually can feel yours?
Yes, I'm trying to trying to understand how the soul that this, I don't know how to say it, but it's not a physically, but it turns, you feel the soul, the impulse. It's like the heartbeat.
Yes, life itself is the soul, but there is other parts of the soul that come into existence as you get older, as you understand what your life is about. The soul will react with you during these periods of your life. And so sometimes there are people that will have what they call an aha moment where they go, "Oh, I feel something a little different right now." And that is what you're going through as well. You're feeling the changes of your life, and it's working through the soul.
I see. Yeah, makes sense. All right, thank you.
Welcome.
I want to thank you, Metatron, for being here.
Yes. Thank you.
Would you, because we are out of time, would you end with a prayer for us? I know you did one prayer, but would you do a closing prayer for us?
Yes, I will do
Thank
that.
you.
My precious Heavenly Father, we love you and thank you for all that you do and all that you are. We give you great thanks and give you our love and understanding. Please help us to understand you in the most incredible ways we can. We ask that you be with us, that you love, guide, and direct us, that you give us more love, that you give us more presence, give us more grace. Uh, We ask that you give us more patience with our fellow man, give us more helping hands with our fellow man. We ask that you feed us and protect us and clothe us. We thank you for all of that you do. And we ask that you bring all your love into use on this planet so that we can have peace and kindness and goodness and oneness and beauty here. There is so much trouble. We just know that you can overcome it. With your help, we can overcome all things. And that is what we are asking today, Lord. Come into us and help us to overcome our daily lives, our daily being, and all the things of the earth. In your name we pray. Amen.
And thank you so much. And thank you, Metatron, for being here. Thank you to everyone in the YouTube chats and in the room. When we can bring you back, Jim back, that would be fantastic. And we'll
Very
end
well.
with some announcements.
Greetings, everybody. I know the beginning of this was not recorded for the because we were on the wrong channel. So I'm going to do this really quick. We have our channeling class scheduled for Sunday, May 26th, 1:30 to 5:30 Eastern Standard Time. The price on that is $150. Consciousness class is Saturday, June 8th. And that is 1:30 to 5:30 Eastern Standard Time. The cost on that is $150 as well. The gathering is scheduled for August 8th, 2024, and it is $695, and it's all inclusive. We are also offering day passes. We are in the process of creating a website. It is almost complete, literally just a few hours left, and we're hoping to have that website for the gathering up and running. If you're interested in any of that, please email classes@hucolo.org. I will get any information out to you. I will be teaching the channeling class. Jim will be teaching the consciousness class, channeling Granani. And then the gathering, we're going to have many people come through as leaders.
Yes. It's going to be a really wonderful time. I'm really looking forward to meeting Rob Gothier in person and meeting Krista Priya in person and
Me too.
Helena and everyone.
Yeah.
So it's going to be really fun.
It's going to be really fun. Yeah, very exciting. Family coming together.
That's
Yes,
correct.
the family coming together. Yes. And all you as well.
That's right. So if you're interested in any of the classes at hucolo.org.